Okay, let's start with Mangala Charan. Okay, who wants to go first? Avya, go ahead.
Om Anjanatrimandasya Jakajana Slakhaya Kasturmitam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadatiti Savantikam.
Thank you, Beta. See, it's JN, it's Agya. Agyana Nirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Okay? And this is Chakshur. Chakshu means eyes. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Chakshur. Okay, thank you, Beta. Who wants to go next? Adhav?
One day hum Shri Guru Shri Radhakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupan Sakochatam Sahagana Yoginatan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Purchana Sahitam Krishnachitam Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Shri Visa.
Thank you, Beta. Who wants to go next? Ishan, do you want to say the Mangalacharan?
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanustate Devi Paramame Hare Priya.
Thank you, Beta. Jaini, go ahead.
Once a Kamarayubasya Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasa the Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you. Hari, you want to say the Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. Kathy, you want to say the Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare.
Thank you. Okay, all right. So what have we studied so far? We said we were talking about that Hiranyakashipu was given the boon by Brahmaji, Lord Brahma, right? So Hiranyakashipu was given the boon by Lord Brahma. So then what was the boon given to him? Saying that he would not be killed in a variety of ways, right? So he would not be killed on land, in water. He will not be killed by a man or a demigod. He would not be killed with any weapon. He would not be killed in the night or in the day. So, and also Brahmaji had put the water from his kamandalu, from his pot of water, so that his body became lustrous, right? Because of he had meditated for so many years, the ants had eaten it, right? And he could be hardly visible. But now he was visible because now he had very glowing and lustrous body because Brahmaji put that mystic water on him. And now, because now he's puffed up with power, he took control of all the planets, right? He took control of the planets of the human beings, which is the earth. He took control of the planets of the Garudas, the serpents. He took control of the planets of the Siddhas, the Charanas, the Vidyadhars. So he took control of even the heaven where Lord Indra lived. So he made the palace of Indra his palace. And he was there in the Nandana garden, which is a very beautiful garden. And then we were talking about in the last class, like how Indra's palace is so wonderfully decorated with diamonds and jewels. Like it was like the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, was residing there. It was so beautiful, right? So see, Krishna's creation is so beautiful. And what are we doing in this Krishna's creation right now? We're cutting down so many trees. We are, there's so much pollution. There is water pollution, air pollution, different kinds of pollution. We are doing bad things to what Krishna has given to us. And then Hiranyakashipu was always trying to satisfy his senses. He was drinking wine and liquor, but nothing could satisfy him, right? Nothing could satisfy him. All the demigods used to worship him except the three Guna avatars. Who are the three Guna avatars? Who knows the three Guna avatars? Yes, Avya?
Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva.
Yes. Except Brahma, Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, or Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, all the demigods used to worship Hiranyakashipu because he had become so powerful. He had this boon from Brahma that he can be, like, we will see how he will be killed. He'll be killed because Krishna is so smart, Vishnu is so smart. They will figure out a way. Even if Brahma's boon is given, they will figure out a way. Okay, so we'll see. And then you remember that all the sacrifices which were being performed, Hiranyakashipu, the sacrifices are meant to go to Vishnu or to the demigods, who in turn give it to Vishnu, right? Everything is coming from Vishnu or Krishna. Hiranyakashipu is taking all the sacrifices, the oblations of the sacrifices, and he was terrifying even the planet Earth. That, right, you need to till the land and then sow crops and then give water and then the crops will come out. But now the planet Earth was so terrified, Hiranyakashipu was terrifying them so much that they were giving the crops without even tilling the land, right? So, and there was so much milk and everything, so there was, without any work, you were getting all these fruits. And now, even though Hiranyakashipu was doing all the stuff, he was drinking wine, he was trying to control people, he was waging wars, and he was winning wars. He was the most powerful person in the universe, except for Lord Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. He was not satisfied, right? We think, right, if I get a big house, if I get a big car, I'll be happy. But that happiness is temporary. It cannot be permanent. So similarly, he was being controlled by his senses, and he was becoming their servant. He was not in control of what he wanted. He was not satisfied. In the meantime, all the demigods, right, Indra, Varuna, and everybody were like distressed because everything was taken over by Hiranyakashipu. So they meditated on who? Who did they meditate on? Yes, Adi.
Krishna?
Yes, they meditated on Krishna, Vishnu, yes. So they meditated on Vishnu and say, please, we beg to you, we beg to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where the purified souls go, right? And they never come back. Please protect us from this demon. So then Vishnu answered in the form of a voice came. And then he said, do not fear. You've come to the right place. When people come to me and offer me prayers, then I will award benedictions. So when Hiranyakashipu tries to tease Prahlad Maharaj, who is his own son, then I will kill Hiranyakashipu immediately, even though he has been given the benedictions or the boons from Brahma. Okay. Then we learned about the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. What are the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj? He's a 5-year-old boy. Can anybody tell me the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, one quality at a time? Yes, Avya.
He was like really good and nice to everyone.
He was very good and nice to everyone. Yes, and then somebody else? Yes, Ahas.
He was even though he was like the son of basically the head of the universe, he was very respectable to his elders and helped the poor and was like a brother to his equals.
Wonderful. Yes, Ahas. Right. It's a very good teaching for us, right? If somebody is superior to us, then we respect them and we treat them like they are masters and we serve them, right? If the senior Vaishnava coming to us, then we pay obeisances to them when we treat them as our masters, and we learn from them. We don't get envious from them, right? Somebody in our material life, in our spiritual life, if somebody is doing so good, and somebody got like say A+ in their all the classes, then we might get envious. Oh, this guy's better than me. How can I put him down? That's not the way, right? We then see, we learn from them. We treat them nicely. And then if somebody is at an equal level to us, we treat them as our brothers, as our friends. And the third one, if somebody is inferior to us, then we treat them like we treat them with compassion. Just like we give charity to a poor, like a father will give something to his kids, same thing, we will do that. So that's a great quality to have, that we will treat these people like that. Okay. Okay, then Hari, you want to say?
And also he's very intelligent.
Yes, Prahlad Maharaj is very intelligent. Yes, very intelligent. Yes, somebody else? Yes, Kathy?
He planted seeds for everybody. Also,
He what? He did what?
he helped everybody.
He helped, yes. He was compassionate to everybody. That's very nice, Kathy. Thank you. Yes, he was treating everybody as equal. He had no sense of like, we think, right, somebody's our friend and somebody's our enemy. But he never treated somebody as a friend or enemy. He treated them, everybody, as equal, because everybody has what inside them? What has everybody inside them? Yes, Avya?
God.
Yes, everybody has God. Everybody is an Atma, right? Yes, Adav, go ahead. Adav?
Everybody has Krishna devote.
Say that again. Everybody has?
Krishna devote.
Yeah, so everybody has Paramatma inside. Everybody is, we are not the bodies, right? This body will die, but then what do we have is, yes, Jasvita?
Soul?
Yes, we have soul inside us, right? We are the soul, we're not the bodies, right? And our souls are servants of Krishna. So we should consider, so he was not looking like, oh, this is my friend and this is my enemy. No, that's a material thing. Even in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha or in the Golok Vrindavan, if there's a lion and a deer, would they eat each other? No, they don't eat each other. In the spiritual, they don't eat each other in the spiritual world. They drink milk. In the spiritual world, the tiger will be drinking milk, and the deer will also be drinking milk. They will not eat each other. Nobody's a friend and nobody's an enemy. Everybody is the same goal. Everybody wants to please Lord Krishna. Okay, so somebody else wants to say any other quality of Prahlad Maharaj we discussed? Ishan, are you there?
Yeah.
Why does it say connecting to audio?
Um,
You changed your caption name. Okay, can you tell me a quality of Prahlad Maharaj?
he was. I'm pretty sure someone already said compassionate.
Okay, and then he had, okay, yes, Jasvita?
He wasn't on any side, like good or bad. He was just equal for everybody, like in between.
Yes, yes, yes. He did not take any side. Yes, Sahas.
He acted like a brahmana.
He acted like a Brahmana, qualified Brahmana, very good character, right? And he was determined to understand the absolute truth. What is the absolute truth? Does anybody know what is the absolute truth? Okay, Sahas knows. Who else knows? Avya knows. Okay, okay. Let's see, Avya. What is the absolute truth?
It's that like we're not God. Like we're not like the real person. God like is the supreme personality. Like Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead, and that like the soul inside us is part of God, but we're not God. And if we like pride and all that, we shouldn't have that. The absolute truth is that like our soul has God in it, but God is the supreme personality of Godhead Vishnu. But like we're not God, or we can't like be close to God, like anything like God. We can like only respect them or like be devotees, but we can't be God.
Yes, 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 yes. That's very nice. Let's see, Sahas, what do you have to say?
So it's basically saying that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Yes, and then what about us?
And then that we are part and parcel of him.
Yes, we are part and parcel of it. What does that mean? Is our so when we say we are part and parcel, so we are not the body but the soul. What do we understand from that? I know it's a difficult thing to understand. When we say we are not the body but the soul, what do we understand?
We understand that we don't die when like our body dies. We actually live on, and we take another birth in a different body, and we keep doing that stuff.
Yes, that's very nice. So mommy, ask mommy, she will give you. Okay, so the absolute truth is that we are not the body, but the soul, and we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are teeny tiny souls, and Krishna is huge. He's like infinite, and we are like a drop in the ocean. So Krishna is like the ocean, and we are a drop in the ocean. We have the same qualities. Like if you take if you take a drop of ocean, would it have the same chemical qualities like that of the ocean, like the big ocean? Would it be made of the same elements?
Yes.
So we are like the same thing. So Krishna has unlimited qualities. He is so merciful. He has strength. He's the most powerful. He's the most beautiful person. He has the most knowledge. Then he is like renunciate. And so what are the 6 qualities of Krishna? Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember what are the 6 qualities of Krishna? Yes, Ishan?
I'm not sure if I remember all of them, but there was beauty,
Yeah,
renunciation,
yeah,
strength,
yeah.
power. Oh, wait,
That
no.
is strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes,
Then
let's,
there
okay, you get
was
3. Okay, let's see who else can give me the other 3 qualities. Because he possesses all these qualities in full, like nobody can match him. Yes, Mahima?
So Krishna has unlimited strength,
Yeah,
unlimited beauty,
yeah,
unlimited fame,
Yeah.
Unlimited wealth,
Yeah.
unlimited knowledge, and
Yeah.
unlimited renunciation.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. So he is the reservoir of all the good things. And we teeny tiny particles of him. Right? So we have those qualities, but in minute volume. So we are like a drop in the ocean. We are made of the same qualities, but Krishna has unlimited volume of that. But why do we do bad things? Because we are in the material world. So our soul is covered with all this three modes of goodness of Raja, Tama, and Sattva Gun, right? The mode of goodness, the mode of passion and ignorance. So that's why our soul is covered. That's why we do bad things. So that's the absolute truth, that we are part and parcel of Krishna, and our duty is to engage in devotional service and to serve Krishna, right? So we discussed all these qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, that he had no pride. He had no pride. And he was, even though he was like the son of the most powerful king in the entire universe, he had no pride. He was so educated, so learned, but he had no pride. Okay, now we will move forward. Okay, let's see. Who wants to read? Jaswita, go ahead, read the first two paragraphs.
Although Prahlada Maharaja was born in a family of Asuras, he himself was not an Asura but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. He was not.
Unlike. Oh, sorry.
He was not agitated.
No. Unlike the other asuras.
Unlike the other asuras, he was never envious of the Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put in danger. He was neither directly nor indirectly interested in the future activities material to in the future activities described in the
future activities described in the Vedas.
Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless. Therefore he was completely devoid of material desire. He always controlled his sense of He always controlled his senses and life air, and being of steady intelligence and determination. He subdued the lusty desires. Prahlada Maharaja's good qualities are still glorified by learned saints and Vaishnavas. As all good qualities are always found existing in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they also exist forever in his devotee, Prahlada Maharaja.
Thank you. Adam, want to read the last paragraph?
Who could list the
innumerable,
transcendental qualities of Prahlad Maharaj? He had unflinching faith in Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, and unalloyed devotion to him. His attachment to Lord Krishna was natural because of his previous attachment to his devotional service, or taught his good qualities cannot be
enumerated.
enumerated. They prove that he was a great soul,
Mahatma.
Mahatma.
Thank you. Ishan and everybody, if you can turn your cameras on, that would be great. So, so what's happening here again? Glorifying Prahlad Maharaj, that he was not a materialistic person. He was completely spiritual, right? Sometimes we say, oh, I want a new toy. Oh, somebody gave me this toy, which is worth $30. I already have this. Let me get other toys in exchange, right? So he was not at all like a normal child, in a sense that he is looking for toys or he's looking for this thing or that thing. He's just looking for doing devotional service to Krishna or Vishnu. He's always thinking of Krishna. And you will see when we think about the 9 devotional processes of bhakti, right? The 9 processes of bhakti, he's always known, he's known for smaranam. What does smaranam mean? Does anybody know smaranam? Avya, yes, what does smaranam mean?
Like remembering.
Yes, he's remembering Krishna all the time. He's remembering Vishnu all the time. So all these material things, like, okay, I want a new tie, I want a new car, I want this candy, I want this chocolate, I want chole bhature, I want pasta. Nothing was like, okay, how to please my Lord, how to please my Krishna. That was always in his mind, right? So even as a 5-year-old child, see how exalted he is. We just need to learn from him how to try to remember. I know we are not at that stage, but we can try to follow in his footsteps and try to remember Krishna all the time. And then he was always, we cannot just list out his qualities, because his qualities are innumerable. Just like Krishna has so many innumerable qualities. But one thing is, he had unflinching faith, which means he always was confident. He always believed that even if somebody is going to try to kill me, Krishna will protect me. He had that much faith. Even if Krishna doesn't protect me, it's Krishna's will, saying whatever happens is going to happen to his devotee. So he had that faith. That you will see that whenever they try to kill him, he's always trying to meditate on Krishna and Vasudeva, and Krishna is then saving him from all this. So we need to have that unflinching faith that if Krishna wills, then I'll die. If Krishna wants, then I will survive. Whatever Krishna wants to do with me, I'm happy with it. So he has that kind of faith. He has that kind of faith. And in his previous life, he had so much bhakti. So in this life, he is such an exalted devotee. You will see that. So next, who wants to read next? Avya, let's go ahead. You read the first 2 paragraphs, and then Mehak, you read the next 2 paragraphs.
From the very beginning in his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish playthings. Indeed, he gave them up altogether and remained silent and dull, being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Since his mind was always affected by Krishna consciousness, he could not understand how the world goes on being fully absorbed in the activities of sense and gratification. Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly.
Thank you. Okay. Mehak, you want to read?
Yes. Sometimes upon seeing the supreme
Personality
of Godhead, Prahlad Maharaj would loudly call in
full anxiety.
He sometimes lost his shyness in
Jubilation
and began dancing in
ecstasy,
and sometimes absorbed
In
in
thoughts of
thoughts of Krishna, he felt one less and
imitated.
imitated the pastimes of the Lord. Sometimes feeling the touch of the Lord, lotus hands, he became
Spiritually jubilant.
jubilant, and remained silent.
His
His
hair
hairs standing on
and
and tears guiding down from his half-closed eyes because of his love for the Lord.
yes, thank you, Beta. So what's happening here is describing the qualities of a perfect devotee who has realized, right? We see some people when they hear kirtan, when they are chanting, tears will flow down from their eyes. And they might act like a madman dancing in so much happiness, right? They're not actually mad. Sorry, is there a question? Okay, Ishan, are you able to follow? Are you doing something else? So he was a person who was very spiritually advanced. He is showing all the signs of a self-realized soul. Like he's feeling that Krishna is touching his head. His hairs are coming up like he feels that his hairs are standing on one end because he feels the love of Krishna. He's crying in joy. Don't we want to have that experience that you're so pleased, that you're so happy because you feel the presence of Krishna? So that's what Prahlad Maharaj was, that he was feeling the presence of Krishna all the time. And he's dancing in ecstasy, in dancing, and he's crying out the Lord's names in anxiety that Krishna, I want to see you, Vishnu, I want to see you. He is so much attached to Krishna. Isn't it wonderful that he is exhibiting, he's displaying all these wonderful things of the symptoms of a great devotee. When we also want, we cannot do this like and imitate anybody, right? We cannot just say, oh, I'm feeling and I'm just crying fake tears. That is wrong. It will automatically come when you try to think about Krishna all the time. It will automatically come that the tears will flow through your eyes. You will feel like you are like some electric shock is going in your hands and arms and saying that, oh, your hairs are they're standing on one end. You will feel Krishna. You will you will cry out for Krishna. You will chant loudly and say, Krishna, when will you show me to? So this is Prahlad Maharaj is situation at 5 years age. He's so wonderful devotee. So when we think, right, Krishna will save us and everything, why he was so confident? Because he was feeling Krishna all the time. Okay, so we will move on to the next chapter in Prahlad Maharaj thing. This was one of the Bhagavatam's chapter number 4 from 7th canto. We'll move on to chapter number 5. This is the okay. What? Where am I hearing this again myself? Okay, who wants to read? Vedant, go ahead.
The demons, headed by Hiranyakashipu, accepted Sukracharya as their priest for ritualistic ceremonies. Sukracharya's 2 sons, Sanda and Amarak, lived near the Hiranyakashipu's palace. Prahlad Maharaj was already educated in devotional life, but when his father sent him to the two sons of Shukracharya to be educated, they accepted him at the school along with the other sons of the Asuras. Prahlad certainly heard and recited the topics of politics, economics taught by the teachers, but he understood that philosophy involves considering someone a friend and someone else as an enemy. Thus, he did not like it. Once upon a time, a king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, took his son Prahlad on his lap and very affectionately inquired, "My dear son, please let me know what you think is the best subjects of all you've studied from your teachers."
Thank you. So, who is Shukracharya? Does anybody know? Who is Shukracharya? Yes, Vedant?
He's the guru of the Asuras.
Yes, he's the guru of the Asuras, right? So, he has Shukracharya's two sons, Chanda and Amarka, were the teachers for Prahlad Maharaj, because they lived near Hiranyakashipu's palace, and Hiranyakashipu wanted Prahlad Maharaj to be taught like economics, politics, all this education, which again he was being taught that, okay, he's an Asura, so he should not worship Vishnu. All these things they were trying to teach him, and these the two sons, Shukracharya's two sons, Chanda and Amarka, were his teachers. So he was learning all that stuff, but in his heart was love for Krishna, for Vishnu. And he did not like that they are teaching me, oh, this guy is my friend, this is my enemy, because in everybody's heart there is Paramatma, right? In everybody's heart there is Krishna. So we cannot treat anybody as differently. And then one time Hiranyakashipu took his son Prahlad Maharaj on his lap, and he's asking, okay, what did you learn? What did you learn? Tell me, what did you learn from your teachers? Let's see what will he respond. Do you know what he will respond? Okay, let's see what he's going to respond. Okay, who wants to read this? Okay, Jasvita, you have already had your turn. Somebody who has not had their turn. Ishan, you want to read?
Okay. Prahlad Maharaj replied, "O best of the Asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, Vana. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavan, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." When Prahlad Maharaj spoke about the path of self-realization in devotional service, thus being faithful to the camp of his father's enemies, Hiranyakashipu, the king of the demons, heard Prahlad's words, and he laughingly said, "Thus is the intelligence of children spoiled by the words of the enemy." Hiranyakashipu advised his assistants, "My dear demons, give complete protection to this boy at the Gurukula, where he is instructed, so that his intelligence will not be further influenced by Vaishnavas who may go there in disguise."
Thank you. So what is Prahlad Maharaj responding to the question asked by his father? What did he learn? He's just saying that we have got a temporary body, right? Everybody knows that everybody who comes in this material world is going to die, right? I'm going to die. Anybody, like you all, we are going to die because we have come in this temporary world. Even this world, like if you construct a building, that building is going to be destructed in, say, 100 years, 500 years, 600 years, or whatever, 50 years. Anything which is material is going to be annihilated, is going to be destroyed. What is the permanent thing? If we go back to the spiritual world, then that spiritual world never gets destroyed, and then we're serving Krishna. So he's saying that because we are in a temporary body, in temporary household life, we are like in a well. We don't know what is the absolute truth. We don't know what is the actual truth. We don't know what the ocean looks like. We are in a small well, right? So we should go to the forest and meditate on Krishna. That's what he's saying. That is what is the best teaching I've learned. His teachers, Chanda and Amarka, were not teaching him this, but he knew from all these teachings from Narad Muni, and we will learn about that. So he's telling this to Prahlad Maharaj, and he's telling this to Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad Maharaj is telling this to Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu, you can think, is very mad. It's like, who's teaching him all this? This is like, Vishnu killed my brother Hiranyaksh. Vishnu is my enemy. Who is teaching him to do this bhakti, devotional service to Vishnu? So he thought, okay, these teachers, Shanda and Amarka, are teaching him this. So now he's saying, okay, he's asking his assistants, right? Tell me, give protection to this boy, so nobody can from outside can teach him. Probably you guys are not teaching, but somebody from outside, somebody from Vishnu's devotee is coming and teaching him all this. So I don't want this guy, my son, to be influenced by this wrong teachings. So let's see what. Okay, who wants to read? Okay, Avya, have you read already? Yes, right. So, okay, Sahas, you want to read? Go ahead.
When Hiranyakashipu's servants brought the boy Prahlad back to the Guru school, the place where Brahmanas taught the boys, the priest of the demons, Sanda and Amarika, pacified him with very mild voices and affectionate words. They inquired from him as follows. Dear Prahlad, as all peace and good fortune unto you, kindly do not speak lies, just reply with the truth. These boys you see are not like you, for they do not speak in a deviant way. How have you learned these instructions? How has your intelligence been spoiled in this way? O best of your family, has this pollution of your intelligence brought about by you or by the enemies? We are all your teachers and very eager to hear about this. Please tell the truth. Prahlad Maharaj replied, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose external energy has created the distinction of my friend and my enemy by diluting the intelligence of men. Indeed, I am now actually experiencing this, although I have previously heard it from authoritative sources.
Thank you. So what's happening here, right? The Shanda and Amarka took him back to the Gurukul, right? And then they're asking him, okay, why are you speaking like this? We never taught you like this. Who is giving you all this education that Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then you should do bhakti and you should go to the forest, you should go to Vrindavan and worship Krishna. Who is giving you all this information? And then Prahlad Maharaj is saying, let me first offer my pranams, my respectful obeisance to Vishnu, Krishna, and his external energy, whose external energy is Maya Devi. Maya Devi has created this condition that, oh, this person is my friend and this person is my enemy, because you are thinking Vishnu is your enemy, but nobody is your enemy because everybody has Krishna in them. But now, because you guys are saying this, that's what I feel that you guys are trying to tell me, but I've heard it from authoritative sources, from my guru, from Narad Muni, that nobody is your friend, nobody is your enemy, because you look at this here in this material world, right? A cat is trying to eat a mouse, but in the spiritual world, will they eat each other? No. Only in this material world, because Krishna's external energy has created this, there are friends and enemies. But in the spiritual world, there is no friend and no enemy. And we have to treat it like that. But when I say there's no friend or enemy, so if a tiger is there, tiger also has has Krishna inside their heart. So will you go and hug the tiger? Will you go and hug the tiger? What will happen if you go and hug the tiger? Yes, Vedant.
They'll get eaten up.
Yes. So the tiger doesn't know that Krishna is in his heart. So you know Krishna is in your heart and the tiger's heart. So you don't get scared, but you don't go and just hug them. You still have to protect your body because your soul is inside the body, and you have to make sure that as long as you live, you are doing the devotional service. Otherwise, you're committing suicide and you're going to go and say, oh, I want to hug you, tiger, and tiger will be, okay, he's trying to attack me and I'm going to eat him. Yes, Sahas, you have a question?
Technically, if you're like, if I mean, no, not technically, but like, if you want to help that tiger, instead of hugging it, you could pray for that tiger to get a human birth in its next life.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, Sahas, you can pray that this person, this tiger gets a human birth and then he can become a devotee and go back to Godhead. That's wonderful. That's how we should think. Yes, that's what we should, as Vaishnavas, right? Followers who follow Krishna's teachings, Vaishnavas, Vishnu's teachings. We should say how we can pray that everybody who is entrapped in this material world can go back to Godhead. Yes, Avya, you have a question?
Yeah. How do tigers like think like that? Because like when they get born, don't they also have like this senses like Prahlad Maharaj? So he also have the senses. All they have to do is follow the senses instead of just letting them go. So why do they want to eat you?
So they are, see, the animals, they don't have consciousness. They don't have intelligence like us. They don't understand who is God, what is God. They don't read scriptures, right? Their only things are eating, sleeping, doing reproductive activities, and defending themselves. They're the only 4 things they do. They don't study. They don't have a higher consciousness like, okay, who is God? I need to read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. They don't have like saints among them who will teach them. They don't have spiritual teachers. They don't have even materialistic teachers. Nobody teaches them ABCD or 1, 2, 3, right? So they don't understand. But even if you know, even the tigers and birds and animals in the spiritual world, they sing Krishna's glories. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was going through the forest, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself with the heart of Radharani, who came 500 years ago, when he was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when he was singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even the tigers and the wild animals were singing with him. They were dancing. Can you imagine that? Because that is Krishna himself. When Krishna comes down, all the animals will be attracted to him and they will dance and they will dance with him and they will chant. So that is Krishna's potency. So did you get the answer to your question? They don't understand. They don't have that intelligence. They only have the intelligence to eat, sleep, make babies, or defend themselves if somebody's attacking them. Does it make sense? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Where is Mahima? Mahima, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with a living entity because of its devotional service, one becomes a pandita and does not make distinctions between enemies, friends, and himself. Intelligently, he then thinks every one of us is an internal servant of God, and therefore we are not different from one another. Persons who always think in the terms of enemy and friend are unable to ascertain the supersoul within themselves. Not to speak of them, even such exalted persons as Lord Brahma, who are fully conversant with the Vedic literatures, are sometimes bewildered in the following principles of devotional service. The same Supreme Personality of Godhead who created the situation has certainly given me the intelligence to take the side of your so-called enemy. O Brahmanas, teachers, as iron attracted by a magnetic stone moves automatically toward the magnet, my consciousness of being changed by his will is attracted by Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hands. Thus, I have no independence.
Thank you. Right. So, what is Prahlad? Sri, remember the question the teachers Shanda and Amarka asked, like, who has taught you all this? Why are you just talking about bhakti? Why are you talking about devotional service? Why are you talking about Krishna? Why are you talking about just Vishnu? And what is he saying? Just, an iron. Let's see. Let me show you this picture. Where is this picture? You see this iron and the magnet. If you take a magnet and the iron automatically just gets attracted to it. So same way, because of Krishna's will, because of Vishnu's will, his heart is automatically getting attracted to Vishnu. He doesn't have to make any strength. He doesn't have to learn from a teacher. Even though Narad Muni taught Prahlad Maharaj when he was in the womb of Kayadu, when he was the Narad Muni taught all these scriptures and everything. He was teaching the spiritual knowledge, and Prahlad Maharaj was hearing when he was in the womb. So he's saying all this, that he's not saying all this stuff. He's saying, sorry, let me go back. He's saying that I'm automatically attracted to Krishna, just like a magnet attracts, like a magnet attracts iron. So I'm like that iron who is getting attracted to magnet, who is Krishna. And he's saying that that same Krishna has given me this intelligence to saying that even though you call Vishnu as your enemy, that Vishnu is telling me I should be on his side. You see this picture? Vishnu, Shiro Dakshay Vishnu, that Vishnu is in a yogi, in a saint, in a tiger, in a lion, in a bird. Everybody is the same Vishnu. So is there somebody an enemy or somebody a friend? No. That's what he's trying to tell. Okay. So then you see this, right? We are all Atmas, all Jivas, a tiger, a lion, a human being, all Jivas are similar because we are all Atmas, we are the soul. And our bodies are made of 5 elements. Everybody's body is made of 5 elements. So Ishan's body is made of 5 elements. My body is made of 5 elements. Avya's body is made of 5 elements. Jasvita's body is made of 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Does anybody know? Okay, Sahas, what are the 5 elements?
The 5 elements are fire, water, air, ether, and earth.
Yes, these are the 5 elements your body is made of: air, water, fire, earth, and ether. Ether is that nothingness, the space, right? The space. So everybody's body is made of 5 elements. When we die, it again mixes in that same elements. And the only thing which doesn't die is our Atma, is our soul. So we should understand that, right? Nobody's our friend, nobody's our enemy. And we talked about this, right? This Krishna himself, Vishnu himself, is attracting my heart to him, just like as a magnet is attracting iron, right? So what is the Vaikuntha thinking? What is the spiritual thinking? That we have to be friendly for Lord service. It's not like, oh, Avia is chanting 16 rounds. I'm only chanting only 10 rounds. She's so much better than me. How can I put her down? That's not that thinking in Vaikuntha, in spiritual world. Oh, she's chanting very nicely. I should also improve. I should ask, how is she doing? That's what should be our attitude. We should praise, appreciate another service, not condemn. If Ishan is able to read books nicely, the spiritual books, or we should not say, oh, Ishan, oh, you're wasting your time, or how are you doing this? Instead, we should ask them, can you also teach me how to do this? There's no competition. There's no envy, right? There's no competition. And we should not be proud of our own service. Oh, I am a very good singer. I play the mridanga very nicely. I am a very good devotee. Oh, I play the piano very nicely. I got A grades, A+ grades in all the subjects. I dance so wonderfully. I am a great person. No, when you feel proud, a little bit proud also, you fall down. Right? There is a saying in English, pride comes before the fall, right? There will be pride and then you'll fall down. So we should never be proud, because you can do only bhakti in a humble mood, like you're the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord, right? And everyone is allowed to serve to the best of his ability. Everybody will be, Krishna wants them to serve him. You know, there is one story where you guys know about Lord Ram. Do you guys know about Lord Ram? Yeah, right? So if you know that Hanumanji, Nal, Neel, and all the monkeys were trying to build a bridge between Lanka and India so that they can cross the bridge and go to Lanka, right? So everybody was taking big rocks and building and writing Ram on it, and then Nal and Neel were putting in the water in the ocean, and it was floating, right? It's making a bridge. Then there was a small squirrel. And she was like rolling herself in the sand, and then she was trying to put that sand on the rocks so that it becomes smooth for Ram to walk. And Hanumanji was asking, what are you trying to do? You're a distraction. You cannot do anything. You're just trying to put sand, and your pace is so slow. Then what does Ramji say? She's trying to do to the best of her ability. She's a small, teeny tiny squirrel, but she is giving her 100%. I'm happy with her service. So whatever you do, even though it is a small bit, Krishna will be happy. Even if you put a nail, like if you put up a painting in Krishna's temple, Krishna will be really happy that you did service for me. So Krishna is always happy with whatever service you do. However big it may be, however small it may be, it's a service to Krishna. Yes, Sahas, you have a question? Okay, it's 12 o'clock. Anybody has any questions? We'll stop here, and next class will be very nice. We will be talking about these things. So I'll just show you a preview of what we will talk. Let me see. Down. We'll be talking about these things. Then we will be talking about Smaranam. What happened here? Why no? Okay. Talking about all this stuff. Okay, so we will be, yes. Jasmita, you have a question?
I don't have a question, but I want to show you something. I want to show something.
Okay, quickly, show.
Okay.
Oh, wow, you made Krishna's painting. Very nice.
No, my dad did.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a painting of Krishna.
Yes, painting of Krishna with the cows. Wonderful. That's very nice. Wonderful. Yes, Kathy, you want to, you have a question?
Yeah, I've actually watched those with cartoons in India.
Oh, you have watched? Yeah, so it'll be wonderful to discuss about them. Thank you,
Can I
Jasmita,
go
for
first,
sharing
Daddy?
that. Sorry, Ishan, you had a question?
Okay. Are you going somewhere?
No.
Where?
So Vedant, what are you saying?
Getting something for lunch? Or are you
I
just
also
What do you-
watched the cartoon of Little
Okay.
Krishna.
Okay. So we will talk about the 9 process of devotional service next week. So if you can join, please join next week. Next week's
getting?
class will be very, very important. Okay, anybody else has a question, comment?
If I won't be able to join, I'll just watch the stream on YouTube.
Okay. You know where the YouTube thing is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm notified.
Okay. All right. Yes, Navya, you have a question?
No, but I just also watched the like the Krishna episode things like on YouTube.
All right, so we will say our prayers. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Narasimha Dev ki jai.
Jai.
We'll see you next week. Hari Hari Bol.
Bye.
Thank you, kids.
Hari.
Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Hari Bol.